Okay, guys, this is Lori. We're doing a kind of a casual hangout walkthrough of Zoom and what it can do for you and for your team. So we're going to record this. I wasn't going to, but I decided to record it so that anybody else that can't jump on this afternoon can come on later and hear all the benefits and see how it works. So one thing I really like about it is it's one click to get on for the most part, as long as your system works, and it also works on mobile and on computers. So, and it works on Mac and PC. It's very user-friendly that way, and it's pretty simple. Hey, Irma. It's pretty simple to get on and to try it, and to that's kind of what we're doing now, so you guys can see how it works. A couple benefits that I should go look. So I posted it on Facebook, and that way I don't have to think about it again. Well, I'll show you. I can share my screen. So if I go to where I want to go here, find it first, and then I will share it with you. So all I have to do to share my screen is click on share screen. I can choose a whiteboard, or iPhone, or all kinds of things. So if I choose whiteboard, for instance, then it's going to show a whiteboard. I can draw images, make weird smiley faces. Okay, I wouldn't really want to do that, so I'd want to erase that. I can also choose text, and I can type in, you know, hi, how are you, etc. So you could pre-type something before your meeting even started, and they could log in and see that right away. And again, you can erase whatever you want. If you stop sharing, it goes right back to the grid view. One thing for you guys who haven't been on yet, at the very top right, if you're on your computer, then I'm not sure on a tablet or phone how this works. You might not be able to do it, but if you're on your computer, on the top right, it says speaker view or gallery view. Speaker view is going to show a really big face of who's talking. And gallery view is going to still show who's talking, but it's also going to show everyone else up to a certain number, I think 25. So it's kind of nice because you get to see more people at the same time. Hey, Donna. So then if you go to share screen, it will share, you can choose to share your desktop or whiteboard or whatever, but I always just normally choose desktop because I'm usually sharing how to use Chat for Biz, or doing sharing a PDF, or doing the leader business meeting, or something like that. You can even show YouTube videos, whatever's basically on your computer, you can show to who's on your meeting. So basically I'm in Facebook now, as you can see. And this is where I listed benefits of WhatsApp and Zoom. So some of the Zoom benefits: one-click meeting entry. So you guys noticed if you clicked on that link, here you were. It's pretty simple. You can choose whether people join automatically on camera or not, whether they join muted or live. And if you're going to have a ton of people on a meeting, sometimes, you know, if they've got a ton of background noise and they join and all of a sudden they're yelling and screaming in the background, it's going to really drop the quality of your meeting. So you might want to mute the audience. And you can also mute people singly while you're in a meeting. So I can see everyone's name, and if someone's making a lot of noise, I can go in and mute them and then say, sorry, so-and-so, I have to mute you because your background noise is really loud, you know. But they can still chat in the chat box. So everyone can be on camera or choose to have their camera off. Like I said on here, being on camera is more fun because, like you're seeing here, we're seeing each other. So we can have a conversation kind of in person, even though we're in different states.
Donna looks like a snowman.
I'm trying to figure out how to reverse the camera on my desktop. I'm not too good technically.
Oh, hi, Donna.
Hi. Plus you catch me in my pajamas too, so.
Oh, even better.
We'll save that for posterity.
And then I've lost everybody anyhow, the picture. So go ahead, Lori. Sorry.
No worries. So you can share your screen during the meeting. So for instance, I'm doing that now. I'm showing you, rather than having to remember all this off the top of my head, I can show it to you. You can read it and hear it. I've signed people up this way where I get on the meeting with them, and I show them jaffaforyou.com, and we go through and sign them up right there. I walk them through ordering their first order and how to use it. We can even go in and get their website going, which I try to do right away. All of that can be done while you're both on the meeting, and she can be learning how to use a system while she's signing up, and you're doing all the work, which is great for her, and a lot simpler process for her and when she's signing up. So I really love that. Oh, look at that. I have number 3 twice. That's awesome. I kept adding things. Being able to see your team members or meeting attendees makes it much more personal conversation and great for team building. The other portion of that, why I said team building, is if we're having a conversation like this, you're seeing my personality and my expressions. I'm seeing your personality, your expressions, and we're having a real conversation versus being on a conference call where someone could be going in the background. You would never know it. So I guess that could be good or bad, right? And then, so when you logged in today, the meeting ID was, I think, some gobbledygook, and then it had an ID number. It was 971. That's actually my phone number, and I chose that as my meeting ID, my personal meeting ID. You can choose to use that personal meeting ID, and you could make up any number you want, or you can have them assign a different login for each meeting. Where that would be a good thing is if you had the same personal meeting ID for every single meeting you do, and you wanted to keep a meeting private, someone else from your team could just log in the middle of a meeting. So you might want to have, if it was a private meeting, you might want to have a different one that Zoom assigns you for that meeting, a different access code or a password, which you're allowed to do also. You can make passwords for your meetings. So there's different things. You can require them to register, kind of like Jackie and some of the other leaders do on the GoToMeetings. They have you register for put your name and your email in. You can also require that if you want to. So it's kind of very flexible in how many hoops people have to go through to get on your meeting. Or if you just want to do one click like we did today. Do you guys have any questions so far about what I've said at all?
No.
I guess one thing, Lori, when you share your screen, like today, you could see everything in my background. So I guess you should just make sure that there's nothing on there that you don't want anybody to see. Like I have my daughter's Christmas list or whatever was right?
Yeah, you definitely, before you click on share screen, you definitely want to go to the screen, and you can do that while you're on the meeting. You can
just
go to
close
first,
minimize.
Yeah, or minimize everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're going to host a meeting where you know what the plan is for the meeting, you can close everything and then have like in a row, have all your tabs open to all the places that you want to show them during the meeting. And that way you're all set up to go. Yeah. And you don't have to think about it. And that's what I would suggest. But if you're in something like this where we're kind of just chatting and answering questions and talking, it might not be quite as easy. So a good thing is if I, for instance, right now, if I click on pause share, I just switched over to YouTube and you guys can't see that. What you're seeing is where we just were on Facebook, right? Okay. So if I say show again or resume sharing, you can see that I'm on YouTube, right? So you can actually pause it and it doesn't do anything weird to you guys, to the team. They can still see where you were, and you can quietly go find another spot and then start sharing again, and they'll really never know you did that. So that's nice. Or you can just stop sharing and it goes back to all of our faces, and you can go back and forth. The other thing is if I stop sharing, I can have, let's say Irma and I were running this meeting together. So I could stop sharing and she could take over sharing, and she could run her portion of the meeting and share her screen. And then I could take it back by going to screen share again. It would automatically ask me if I wanted to cancel hers, and I would say yes and keep going. So you can really use this to have multiple, like get one of your new managers to start learning how to present information by practicing on a meeting like this. So it's pretty cool. Let's see, you can record your meetings with one click. So when I decided to record, there was one button, I just clicked record and it started. No big halt, no big anything. It just recorded. And then when I'm done, I will just click end recording and it will stop and start converting.
That's at the bottom, right? Record. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already said personalizing your ID, recordings. So like I've said on a couple other, we weren't recording though. The one thing that is the only, I guess, if you could even think of it as a downside, is that because of the quality of these videos, they are very large files. And so when you sign up, if you get the $14.99 option, and I think even if you get the free option, I can't remember, there's an option for cloud recording, but it fills up with one recording. Your cloud space is full and it costs you about $100 a month to get more. So it's really not worth it. So what I like to do is I save it. I have computer local recording or whatever, and it saves to my computer. And then I can upload that recording to YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. And I just upload it. I'll just show you because I was showing them earlier. So this is my, move this. This is my YouTube channel. This is my video manager, actually. It's not actually my channel, but this is just how, this is some of the settings. But in my, oh here, dashboard. So if someone was looking for me on YouTube, they would find this. And it's just, I have things separated into playlists, just like Jafra kind of does if you ever go to their YouTube channel, same thing. I chose, and you can make them private, you can make them public. So if they're private, you have to send someone a link in order for them to even know it's there. So you could keep your team stuff very private, or you can just make it public training for whoever decides to look for Jafra stuff. I don't worry about making it private because I figure the only one who's going to take time to watch a Jafra training is someone who's interested in Jafra. So, I mean, if they really don't know Jafra and they really want to sit there and watch a whole hour of training, they've got more problems than we need to worry about here. So, no, I'm kidding. But, so I don't worry about it. But if you had some training that was more personal, you wanted to keep it private, you totally could. So that's how I deal with the recording portion. I have not done a recording on my phone, and I don't know if that might be a much smaller file, and maybe it would work to do a cloud recording for that. I'll have to play with that. I haven't used it. We've had a lot of technical difficulties on free conference call. It's a great system, but you can't see each other like we do here. It's definitely not as easy to log in. And there's a lot of glitches, like it'll time out, it will stop recording randomly, it will freeze randomly. So I've really enjoyed getting to know Zoom and learning about it. The free version only gives you 45 minutes meetings. They're unlimited, but only 45 minutes. I chose to pay $14.99 a month because that gives you unlimited meeting time. And for me, I do recording and training. So I don't want to think, okay, wait, is my time up yet? It's going to shut off, you know. And then Sharon Davis was telling me that it's actually closer to 30, 35 minutes that starts glitching, and sometimes will shut you off. So I just, you know, $15 a month is nothing to have the freedom to be on as long as you want to. I know it looks weird that I'm looking over this way, but you guys are all over there in a line on my computer, so I keep wanting to talk to you and instead of looking straight into my camera. So those are some of the benefits. It's a really, if you get a green screen, I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's basically like a chroma green background you can get. There's digital backgrounds, so you can have any kind of background you want. It can be a Jafra background, it can be something you found online. And you can have a digital background for your meetings. So that's kind of cool too if you want to personalize something.
And this is all going to be done through Facebook, correct?
No, this is called Zoom. Zoom is its own company, its own application. It's just, you can post once you have a link for your meeting, you can post that link anywhere, text or Facebook or email or whatever. I choose to store mine on YouTube, and then I just share those YouTube links. But depends on what you like. But the cool part is you don't have to record. You can just jump on with your team and chat, answer questions, have a Tuesday tea time like Jackie was talking about on a meeting recently, or whatever. I've started doing 2 meetings on Mondays for my girls, because I've got girls all over the country. So I do a 9 a.m. all district and a 4 p.m. new consultant training. And I just get them on here from wherever they're at, and we can talk and train. And if it's, if they're here, I record it, and then the girls who couldn't make it get to watch the recording. So, and they still get to see us and get to know each other a little bit. So when we see each other, it's not, not the profile perfect picture, it's who we really are. So, which is good and bad, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, you don't even have to do your makeup if you don't want to record it. So you can go in your pajamas with your coffee cup, or in my case, 2 today. It's photography season, so it's a little crazy right now. But so do you have any questions so far, any of you guys? I'm
so excited about it. I just think it's going to be such a time saver. It's so hard to get people to come to meetings and come to things. So,
people are really busy. They're busier and busier and busier, and kids are in more and more sports, and there's always some, something's going on. And so especially, we get into holiday season, or there's always someone's excuse or reason they can't make it. And so you can never find a date that's going to work for everyone, but you can find a date that's good for a lot of people. And then, everyone else can get recording. And, we were talking about live meetings, when you actually have a meeting in person, and putting Zoom on and connecting it. I know there's a way to do that, but to let people who aren't at the meeting actually watch it and be a part of it, at least, even if they can't communicate, because it's a big room or big meeting. So I'm going to
the Ignite meetings that are coming up. People can't make it. That would be awesome to be able to show potential consultants, and this is what we do.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When I was about to get on, I was telling my husband, asking him what they use for video conferencing, and he said Zoom. I'm like, you do?
After
you want to be a guest speaker?
Told me.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But he said it's really a great tool. So.
Well, in the corporate version, there's it's much more affordable, I guess, than go to meeting or go to webinar. But there's a corporate version that's way more money than I would want to spend a month on it, but that can be for corporate use. So I know there's more and more companies, and I mean, Zoom has gotten. I mean, it's a great system. It's easy. It's fun, and it works, and it doesn't glitch on you. I mean, so far, knock on wood. But yeah, we've really enjoyed it so far. Donna, did you not figure out your camera? I mean,
I haven't bothered. I know when I get into it, I'll go dummy. I think you'd like to see a snowman. My brother-in-law carved. So anyhow, but no, I think this is, and I love the idea of seeing pictures. And I'm kind of like you. I've got people up and down the East Coast, and it's like you can personalize it. Then they're going to know, oh, that's who and so that was number one, last month and whatever like that. So it's going to bring, I think, a nice team. Everybody pulling together and rooting for each other.
Yeah. Well, I know, like for me with the Aspire Club, and I'm talking to all these girls from all over the country, and we're talking on the phone, and I don't hardly ever see their face in person. I see their profile picture, but 90% of them don't even look like that person. Well, not 90%. There's more and more that are decent now, because Jafra started doing, headshots and stuff. But a lot of times you look at their profiles and you're like, and then you see that person in person, you're like, that doesn't even, did you change your hair? Because that doesn't even look like you. So, this kind of thing is good, because we really get to see each other and, see who we are and personalities and all of that.
It would even be fun to partner up, like with another manager in the area, Donna, how we used to have our meetings together.
Yes.
It would be fun to do this, once a quarter or whatever, to bring the whole group together, so they could connect with other new consultants and and get to know people before conference and
exactly
fun.
Yeah, you guys, like I was saying, if you switch, you can share your screen, so you can both take turns presenting something, or you can just do a big meeting where you're all just chatting about, okay, what are we going to do at conference? Let's get some ideas, whatever, and really talk it out and just brainstorm. So.
Yeah.
No way, no how.
I'll let the machine get it. How do I mute myself?
Down at the bottom left.
Oh, yeah.
It stopped ringing though, so I think you're good.
Okay.
Oh. Donna, or Hermie, did you have any questions or thoughts on the whole thing?
No, I like it. Just matter, I said time, probably taking the time to figure it all out. Mm-hmm. I've got a potential manager that I think she's more technically better than I am, so she'll teach me.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and I also too is, like you guys, some of you girls in Boston, you get busy areas. I have some girls that won't go after working all the time. They just want to go home. They don't want to get on the highway and get in traffic.
Exactly.
So this I think is going to work wonderfully.
They can sit in traffic. If they have a little prop on their phone, they can log in right there and hear it, listen to it while they're driving.
Yeah.
Probably not a safe idea, but
No, probably not. So, but anyhow, you just got to do it the time. No, I like this. Appreciate your effort doing this too, Lori.
Yeah. Well, I know it's always a little nerve-wracking okay, what are we doing? What? How are we doing this? So there's a few of us that have started using it. And I know Jackie wants to do her meetings this year with Zoom. So I wanted you guys to, number one, I'm loving it for my team. Just beyond. And there's times when Gail Jameson and Vicki Hoover, two of the other Aspire Club coaches, we'll just jump on here just for fun and we'll start chatting and, while we're doing whatever and talking about the members or just encouraging each other, brainstorming or whatnot. And it could totally just on the fly. I just start a meeting and invite them, send them a link, and off we go. So it's a really fun, interactive way of chatting rather than being on the phone.
Yes.
It totally is. We have a conference call every morning at 8:30. Not every morning, I'm sorry, every Monday morning at 8:30. But we use the free conference call. So I think we're going to start using this now, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, and this is it has their app really works well on both Apple and Android products. So far we haven't had any issues with that as far as because some apps work better on others on one or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good.
And it looks kind of simple.
Yeah, there's so at the bottom, I think you guys see pretty much the same thing I do on the bottom of your screen. I already told you about the speaker and gallery view, right? At the top, where it's either one face or you can see everyone's face.
Okay. Oh, is that what that is? Gallery view. Okay.
Yeah. So gallery will show you all of us instead of having a big face when someone's talking.
Yeah.
So really, gallery view's best. No.
Okay. And how do you get to just one? Like you were at one point, just you.
Yeah. So that's speaker view, and that's going to be where whoever's talking that's the biggest screen. And then if I share my screen, everyone goes over to the right-hand side in a little line. And then I'll have a scroll down.
Do you mean enter full screen?
The full screen will just make it fill up your computer.
Okay, I see gallery view in the upper right-hand corner, but I don't see
speaker view.
Well, if you click on gallery view, it will switch it.
Oh, speaker view.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Speaker
view, it's like, whoa, really, really big.
Okay. But whoever's running the meeting is usually in the bigger picture.
That's the speaker view. If you have gallery view, then it just basically puts a little box around whoever's talking.
Okay.
But it doesn't make everyone's face get really huge.
Okay, and what's the chat button? That's because everybody can chat.
That's for talking. It's just if you click on chat, I can say, hi, everyone. And sometimes if someone has, you can also personally message anyone on the list. So that also works. So like for me, if someone was being really loud and I had to mute them, I would private message them and say, sorry, Susan, you have a really bad background noise. I'm going to mute you for a minute. Just wave at me when it's quiet again, or, you know, whatever.
How do you do that, Lori? Go on their picture or something? No, or
The chat?
how do you go to that one person?
Oh, so you
Yeah,
click
so
on the
yeah.
chat box, and then there's at the very bottom it says everyone right now, and if you
Yeah.
click on that, it'll give you a drop down,
Oh, okay, got it.
and then you can personally message someone. And if you're the host, there's an option for manage participants, and you can actually mute someone, turn their camera off. You know,
Oh,
all of a sudden everyone started doing really bad stuff on the camera, you could shut their camera off. But of course, that would never happen in Jafra.
okay.
Yeah, where he's like, no. So you have, and then, or you can mute them. That's where you would mute them also. But you can do it singly, or you can mute everybody if you're trying to record and there's just a lot of people are having issues with background, or you want to make sure no one interrupts.
And
Okay.
how do you do that? How do you mute somebody? Like if I think Donna's
I don't know
being
if
too
you're not
loud.
the host. I'm not sure if you can, but on mine, when I go to manage participants, I can mute all or unmute all, or I can actually remove someone from the meeting, which
Okay,
I
I guess we don't have
Negative.
that.
no,
Yeah.
probably not. But if you're the host, you would.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So if someone like Jafra, I don't see that ever being a problem. But in some places, I'm sure there's meetings where people get out of control or, you know, obnoxious, and you can literally kick them out of the meeting. So
Okay.
I just don't ever really see Jaffa girls or guys acting that way. But I suppose it's
You
possible.
never know.
You know, I know it's like not everyone's as perfect as the four of us.
I'll never forget that. This is kind of funny. I was on some video conference call, maybe with Jackie or somebody, and people were watching. And, you know, every once in a while she wants you, you pop up to show your picture. Well, somebody didn't realize that her camera was on,
Oh, no.
and she was like on the couch, like in her sweats, eating bonbons or whatever. It was very that would have been a good
embarrassing. And half the time Jackie's recording too, so that
right. That would
Not
have been
good, not good.
oh my gosh, that would have been not good at all. Yeah, that would be really embarrassing.
I can't wait to try this. I think I'll just, practice. Now, Lori, how do you tell your girls through Facebook when you're going to have it?
So I set up meeting events on my group. So I have a group for my team.
Right, I do too.
District, and I just set up an event, and then I post when you create a meeting. So all that text that I sent that showed the phone number and how to click here to log in, that's called the invitation. So what I do is I put that in the description of the meeting, and then there's also a link. You can either copy the URL, which takes you right here, or you can copy the whole thing that has the URL, the phone numbers, the ID number, all of that. Either one works, but some people have to call in. They don't have sound on their computer or whatnot. So when you say invite on the little invite button, you can, I think you guys can click on it too, actually.
Yeah, we have an invite button.
Gmail, default email, so you can just put in a bunch of emails.
Email.
You can do that, or at the bottom where it says copy URL and copy invitation.
Yeah.
Those will copy either the direct link or the whole thing with the phone numbers and everything. That's the invitation. And then after you click on copy, you go into wherever you want to send it, an email or Facebook post or whatever, and you just right click and paste, and then it will paste that invitation in there. So for me, I do it in an event on Facebook. I make an event for every Monday at 9 o'clock or whatever, and I have the same link. And in Zoom, you set it up as a recurring event. So you don't have to create that event every time. You're going to create it one time and say, I want it every Monday at 9 a.m. until the end of time. I think you can go out to the end of 2017 right now. And eventually you'll have to redo it. But so you can set up that recurring meeting. So once you set it up, if you know that's your weekly meeting time, you can set it up in Zoom to always be ready to go with the same login. And that's where you could choose, do you want a different login for each kind of meeting, or do you want to just do one personal meeting ID and have it for all your meetings so there's no confusion? That's up to you how you want to do that.
Okay, so you can have multiple links or whatever.
Well, they will assign a separate link to every meeting. And if it's a recurring meeting, that meeting link stays the same for every recurring
Okay.
instance of it. But if you have, like, for instance, I have Mondays at 9 and Mondays at 4. So those two have two separate meeting IDs because I didn't know about the personal meeting ID when I created them. However, I could go in and edit it and change it to one same meeting ID if I wanted to later.
Okay.
But then I'd have to change the link in my events.
So it doesn't matter, you got unlimited meetings for $14.99. Okay, geez, not a bad deal.
So it's pretty cool. And
Okay.
you can message everybody, and you can send the link in an email and on Facebook, and you can post it just like I did in a chat for events just now, and said this meeting starts in 10 minutes, and I put the link in there. The link is the same, and if you make any changes to the meeting other than the link, if you change your meeting ID, you have to change your link and everywhere you put it. But if you make any changes, like they have to log in or put their email or there's a password, that will automatically update with the link. So that, as long as you're not changing your link, then you don't have to make your changes everywhere again.
Yeah, I was just thinking, what a way to start 2017 off.
Oh, awesome. It really is.
Yeah.
Donnie, you're just cracking me up with the snowman talking.
And I collect snowmen. You come in my house. I don't have a snow anymore now in North Carolina, so anyhow. But next time I'll figure out a picture, I know as soon as I go in, I'll figure it all out, so.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool features. And I just started using this about a month ago. So I'm still learning it and finding out new things and all of that too. So it's just fun. It's been really cool for my team. It's been really helpful and super easy to use.
Okay, good.
So $14.99, you get unlimited meetings and time, right? And then the free one, it's about 30 minutes.
Well, they say 45 minutes, but Sharon was telling me it really starts cutting you off sometime between 30 and 35. So
Is it unlimited for that, but just short times? Yeah.
Yeah. So Mona's daughter Sally uses it for another business she has, and she said, I used to do $14.99, but then I decided that I wanted to do free, and I just tell the girls, okay, talk to you in a minute, and we all hang up and call back in. But she doesn't record like I do, and so I was like, no. I don't even want to think about that. I want to know if I'm recording or having a meeting or it's going really well. You don't want to say, okay, everyone hang up and call back. You don't want to break that flow. So for me, I was like, $15 a month is so worth it. And it's a write-off,
Yeah.
Yeah. And you think of what can come from it too.
Exactly.
The long run, so.
Yeah. So I find it very worth it, but.
Okay, good.
Great. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Laurie. Appreciate it.
No problem. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I haven't told you about it. Hermie, do you have any questions, huh? Yeah, I don't think you can hear me. Not sure. He's got himself.
He's muted, yeah.
You're muted.
Where is he?
New York, I think. Isn't that where you live, hon? I think he's in New York. All I know is it's cold here. It started snowing today. Snow is not loud in Portland.
You snow too, here don't you? Yeah, you have snow. Yeah, we're going to get down in the teens, and in North Carolina,
No, we're only like 32, or no, I think we got down to 29. It's just, we're pretty mild here. We'll get down. This year we've already gotten snow twice, and it's kind of weird because we don't get it. I think it's going to be a cold year, but.
Yeah, Friday's going to be in the teens, and Sunday 70. So that's our weather, yo-yo. Crazy. But anyhow, well, good. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, did you have any questions before you have been listening and waving and talking to us, but no, you haven't asked any questions. Hermie, that's for you.
Again.
Oh, well, I guess he would ask if you had questions.
Have a good holiday, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody if we don't chat, and looking forward to seeing you at conference.
I will definitely be there with bells on. Well,
I've got to pass this year. So thank you very much. Take care. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Lauren.
Ciao.